They thought you were finished. They looked at you and saw weakness, saw defeat, saw a silent storm that would never rise again. But what they never understood was this: silence is not surrender. It's the deep breath before thunder. It's the stillness before eruption. They thought you were done. But no, you were only waiting for the perfect moment to show them what real power looks like. They poked the wrong beast, and now they'll watch in disbelief as the fire they lit consumes everything they built. You've been patient for too long, restrained for too long, letting their words echo in your mind. But those words, they've turned into fuel. Every doubt, every laugh, every rejection, it all went into the furnace that you've been building inside. And now that furnace is roaring. This isn't about revenge. This is about balance. Because when someone disrespects the storm, they must learn what the storm truly is. They thought you were soft because you walked away. They thought your silence meant defeat, but it meant calculation, observation, preparation. And now the time for quiet is gone. Now comes the time for fire, motion, and domination. You see, beasts don't roar for attention. They roar to remind the world who they are. You didn't lose your strength. You were forced to remember it. You didn't lose your will. It was sleeping, waiting for the right moment to wake up. And now that it's awake, there's no cage strong enough to hold it. No wall tall enough to stop it. You're about to rise, not politely, but violently, with purpose, with precision, with unstoppable intent. Every scar they gave you, every door they closed in your face, every time they said you weren't enough, that was training. You were never losing. You were loading. You were never broken. You were being rebuilt into something far more powerful. And the best part? They built this version of you. They forged you with their doubts. They forced you to awaken a side you didn't even know existed. So let them talk. Let them laugh. Let them stay blind to the storm that's already forming. Because once you move, once you unleash what's inside, they won't be laughing anymore. They'll be remembering the moment they made the mistake, the moment they poked something that should have been left sleeping. Now, you move differently. Now your silence has a purpose. Now your focus is razor sharp. You've stopped explaining yourself to people who will never understand you. You've stopped chasing validation from those who could never see your worth. You've stopped wasting energy proving points to small minds. Because the beast doesn't explain, it demonstrates. It doesn't speak, it acts. You're not coming back for applause. You're not coming back for revenge. You're coming back because destiny doesn't like unfinished stories, because greatness doesn't allow retreat, because every night you doubted yourself, something inside whispered, keep going. And now, that whisper has become a roar. This isn't motivation anymore. It's transformation. You're stepping into a mindset where pain is no longer your enemy, but your mentor. Where setbacks are not blocks, but signals. Where every challenge that once made you doubt yourself now becomes proof of how far you've come. You're learning to smile at struggle, because the beast inside you knows that comfort kills growth, and you're done being comfortable. They thought they could break you, but they didn't know. Breaking you was the only way to rebuild you into something they could never match. They thought the storm would drown you, but you became the storm. And now they'll learn that some people are not meant to be provoked. Some souls are not meant to be contained. Some fires, once ignited, will never die. Because this time, it's not about proving them wrong. It's about proving you were right all along. You wake up now different. You move with a cold calmness. that scares even the loudest voices around you, because now you've seen what happens when pain doesn't destroy you. It awakens you. You've stepped beyond the line of fear. You've crossed the border where hesitation used to live. Now, everything you do is deliberate, calculated, ruthless in focus. You no longer chase anything. You attract through effort, through silence, through the force of consistency that no one can match. They used to say you'd never make it. They laughed when you failed. They whispered when you fell. But what they didn't realize is that you were listening, not to their words, but to the echo of your own spirit saying, "Not yet. Keep going." You were sharpening in the shadows. You were building armor out of heartbreak. You were learning the science of resilience. You were learning how to turn pain into power, doubt into drive, fear into fire. And now, one by one, the same people who turn their backs will watch as you rise higher than they ever dreamed. You won't need to speak. Your results will speak louder than their opinions ever could. You won't need to prove anything. Your growth will prove everything. You've stopped trying to convince others. You've realized that the beast doesn't seek permission to roar. You've entered the phase where discipline becomes your weapon, where patience becomes your edge. You understand now that greatness doesn't come with noise. It comes with quiet, repetitive, focused execution. Every single day, you show up when others stop. Every single night, you push one more inch when others sleep. And that's how the beast moves, slowly, consistently, endlessly forward. You see, the real war was never outside. It was never them versus you. It was you versus the weaker version of you. The version that cared too much about opinions. The version that hesitated when it should have acted. The version that let fear decide. That version is gone now. Buried. You stood over it, looked it in the eyes and said, "Thank you for your lessons, but you don't lead anymore." Now, you walk as the evolved version, calm, relentless, and unshakable. You don't chase crowds, because crowds never built empires. You don't explain your silence, because silence is your weapon. You don't need approval, because your purpose is bigger than their understanding. And every step you take from here forward is a reminder to the world that they were wrong to doubt you. They poked the wrong beast, because now you've learned how to use pain as strategy. You've learned how to turn frustration into motion. You've learned that success isn't born from comfort. It's born from nights when you feel like quitting, but don't. It's born from the mornings you rise, even when no one's watching. It's born from the days when you have every reason to stop, and you go anyway. They won't understand this kind of drive. They'll call it obsession. But obsession is just another word for focus they can't comprehend. They'll say you've changed, and you have, because you can't stay the same after being burned and reborn. You can't walk the same path after walking through your own darkness. You've earned this version of yourself. You've earned this fire, and now it's your time. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more letting fear dictate the pace. You've realized that perfection is an illusion. Progress is the only truth, and every time you take a step, no matter how small, you're proving that you were never broken, just becoming unbreakable. This is where they'll start noticing the shift, the glow, the quiet power in your eyes. They'll sense it, that something has changed, that you're no longer reachable by their opinions, that you no longer react to their noise. You've built an armor of purpose, and it reflects everything useless away. They'll try to get your attention, but you'll be too focused on the mission. You're no longer in the crowd, you're on the climb. And as you rise, you'll remember the silence, the doubt, the loneliness, and you'll smile. Because that was the training ground. That was where the beast was born. Not in comfort, but in chaos. Not in applause, but in isolation. Every dark night built this light inside you. Every wound became wisdom. Every fall became foundation. So now, when you walk, walk with certainty. When you move, move with purpose. When you speak, let it be power. You don't need to shout to be heard. The world will feel your presence. Because real strength doesn't need to announce itself. It just arrives, unstoppable. They poked the wrong beast, and now the consequence begins. Not through revenge, not through anger, but through unstoppable growth. Because nothing is louder than success built in silence. Nothing is more terrifying than a person who no longer fears losing. And nothing is more powerful than someone who remembers who they truly are. This is your awakening. This is your proof. This is the moment you stop being a story and start becoming a statement. And soon they'll realize they didn't just wake the beast, they created it. Now it begins. One by one, the world will start to see what happens when they underestimate someone who refused to break. They thought you were quiet because you were weak. They thought you were small because you were patient. They thought you were done because you weren't shouting. But patience is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. Waiting is not fear. It's strategy. And strategy is the art of the unstoppable. Every obstacle, every insult, every closed door, they were not chains. They were stepping stones. They were not punishments. They were lessons. And now you step onto each stone with the precision of someone who knows exactly where they are going. You've learned to transform frustration into focus, hate into fuel, obstacles into opportunity. You are not moving blindly. You are moving with purpose. And every step carries the weight of everything that tried to hold you back. They poked the wrong beast. And now, slowly, deliberately, the repercussions begin, one by one. The people who doubted you will witness the rising of a force they cannot control. They will see the results of underestimating you, the consequences of ignoring your fire, and they will understand, far too late, that some people are not meant to be toyed with. Some people, once awakened, cannot be silenced. You are becoming an unstoppable wave. Every action you take builds momentum. Every victory compounds. Every silent victory whispers a warning they can feel but cannot escape. You are the force that moves unseen, strikes without hesitation, and leaves no doubt that the world underestimated you at its own peril. And as each person who doubted you falls away, as each obstacle crumbles, as every door that once closed opens before you, they will begin to see the truth. They awaken something that could not be contained. There is a rhythm to this rise. One step, one win, one lesson at a time. You do not rush. You do not panic. You do not give them the satisfaction of thinking they slowed you down. Every move is calculated, every breath deliberate, every effort multiplied. You are the architect of your own destiny. You are the storm they cannot forecast. And they will learn that the only way to escape the awakening of a beast is to never have provoked it. And here is the power they never understood. You do not need permission to be extraordinary. You do not need approval to rise. You do not need validation to prove your strength. The beast inside is not hungry for applause. It is fueled by growth. It is powered by resilience. It is awakened by adversity. And it moves methodically, unrelentingly, until everything in its path bends to the force it carries. They poked the wrong beast. And now, one by one, the consequences unfold. Every person who doubted you will witness your power. Every obstacle will bow under your determination. Every challenge that once felt insurmountable now becomes proof of your unstoppable will. And when the world sees you rise, calm yet unstoppable, precise yet overwhelming, there will be a moment of recognition, a moment when they realize they have misjudged the force they confronted. This is your reckoning. This is not chaos. It is order built from resilience. This is not vengeance. It is justice carved by effort. This is not noise. It is a statement of unstoppable growth. And as each step forward becomes a roar, they will learn a lesson they cannot unhear, a truth they cannot ignore, a power they cannot challenge. They poked the wrong beast, and now that beast moves with purpose, precision, and unstoppable force. So rise. Step forward into the intensity of your own awakening. Let every action be deliberate. Let every effort compound. Let every victory, no matter how small, be a reminder that you were never meant to be broken. You were meant to grow, to overcome, to rise. And now, one by one, everything that doubted you, everything that delayed you, everything that tried to stop you, will witness the consequence of awakening a force they could not understand. You are not their enemy. You are the inevitable result of every underestimation, every dismissal, every doubt they cast your way. You are the consequence they never anticipated. You are the force that moves beyond anger, beyond revenge, beyond pain. You are the living proof that resilience, patience, and relentless focus can turn even the quietest soul into a storm no one can ignore. And as the world watches, one by one, you will realize this is not about them anymore. This is about you, about the fire you nurtured in silence, about the power you honed in darkness, about the relentless force you became when no one was watching. And in that moment, you will understand. The beast was never something to be unleashed on them. It was a force within you, waiting to rise. And now, nothing can stop it. Now it's time to finish what you began. Now it's time to show the world that patience and resilience are more dangerous than rage and noise. Now it's time to prove that everything they doubted, everything they laughed at, everything they thought would break you, only forged the strongest version of yourself. This is not a comeback. This is a takeover. This is a declaration that you are no longer silent, no longer patient, no longer hidden. You have awakened, fully, deliberately, and without hesitation. One by one, the illusions they built around you crumble. One by one, the doors they closed open under the pressure of your relentless progress. One by one, the voices of doubt are silenced, not by confrontation, not by argument, not by anger, but by unstoppable proof, by results, by the living embodiment of growth they could not see, could not understand, could not predict. You move now with a force that cannot be ignored. Every action is decisive. Every step is measured. Every decision is sharpened by the lessons of pain, rejection, and hardship. You've mastered the art of transformation, turning every setback into momentum, every insult into fuel, every obstacle into opportunity. You are the product of your own evolution. Forged in the fires they thought would destroy you, they poked the wrong beast. And now they see what that means. They watch, powerless, as you rise higher, move faster, and grow stronger than they ever imagined possible. They will remember the moment they misjudged you. They will remember the words they spoke. They will remember the laughter, the doubt, the dismissal. And that memory will be the reminder of everything they underestimated. But this is not about them. This is about you. This is about the fire that burns within, the relentless energy that propels you forward, the unstoppable momentum that nothing can halt. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are creating it. You are shaping it with the power of focus, the clarity of purpose, and the strength of a mind that refuses to quit. Every challenge that comes next will find you ready. Every obstacle that once seemed insurmountable will bend before your persistence. Every doubter, every critic, every naysayer will see what happens when they awaken a force they cannot control. They poke the wrong beast, and now that beast moves with intention, precision, and unstoppable energy. You are not defined by their perception. You are defined by your actions, your focus, your growth. You are not bound by their limits. You are boundless. You are not constrained by fear. You are fearless. You are a living storm, a force of nature, an unstoppable evolution that refuses to be tamed, ignored, or denied. And as you move forward, one by one, everything aligns with the power you now carry. Every opportunity appears because you are ready. Every challenge submits because you are prepared. Every barrier falls because you are relentless. And every single person who doubted you, who challenged you, who poked the wrong beast, will witness the consequence of awakening something that should never have been provoked. This is your moment. This is your rise. This is the unstoppable force they cannot stop, cannot control, cannot diminish. You have become the storm they feared. You have become the power they underestimated. You have become the proof that resilience, patience, focus, and relentless action create a force no one can ignore. They poked the wrong beast, and now, one by one, everything that once stood in your way will fall. Not because of anger, not because of revenge, not because of chaos, but because of unstoppable, undeniable, unmatched power. The kind of power that grows in silence, strikes with precision, and never, ever retreats. So rise, move, conquer, build, create, transform. One by one, step into your destiny and show the world what happens when they awaken a force that was always meant to rise. Show them that the wrong beast was never just alive. It was unstoppable. It was relentless. It was inevitable. And now, it is here. You've been forging yourself in the shadows, unnoticed, underestimated, and dismissed. But that's where power grows, in darkness, in isolation, in the places where only the strong survive. They never saw the evolution that was taking place. They didn't see the focus sharpening. They didn't see the inner fire rising. They didn't see the storm forming. And now, they will witness it. One by one, everything they doubted will fall into place. Every closed door will open. Every obstacle will yield to the relentless force of someone who has refused to quit. They poked the wrong beast, and now, slowly, deliberately, the awakening begins. You are no longer reacting to the world, you are shaping it. Every action you take is purposeful. Every decision is calculated. Every step forward is proof of growth, resilience, and power they could never comprehend. The world will feel your presence not because you make noise, but because results are louder than words. You are the living proof that focus, patience, and relentless action create an unstoppable force. The scars they gave you, the doubt they planted, the rejection they delivered, they were not weaknesses. They were tools. Every setback became momentum. Every insult became strategy. Every closed door became a ladder to climb higher than they could imagine. You've learned to move with precision, to act with purpose, and to embrace the chaos that once seemed unbearable. You've transformed frustration into focus, pain into power, and adversity into unstoppable growth. One by one, the world will see it. One by one, the people who dismissed you will witness the consequence of awakening something that should never have been provoked. They will remember the moment they misjudged you. They will recall the words they spoke, the laughter they shared, the doubts they planted. And that memory will become proof of what happens when patience meets preparation, when strength meets strategy, when the wrong beast is poked.